A lot of you have no idea what to do after the first date with a girl. If I could count the number of times I've heard this phrase, the first date went so well, we haven't talked in a couple days. What do I do? It's become very clear to me that you guys get way too excited when you have even one small positive interaction with a girl. Building attraction involves passing a series of small, subtle tests that a girl will put you through over a few dates. The better you do at passing these tests, the more attracted she will become. Most of you guys get way too anxious because you don't know how to behave after the first date. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 things you need to do after the first date. Make sure you stick around for the whole video because these 3 tips will drastically improve your chances of getting her on another date. The first thing you need to do is to be patient. As I've already said, too many of you guys are way too excited all the time. You go on a good day with her, you spend 4 to 6 hours with her, and the first thing you want to do as soon as she leaves is to text her right away. Hey, I had a good time, or something stupid like this. What you guys aren't understanding is that this comes off as desperate. I mean, think about it logically, guys. You just spent 4 to 6 hours with her, and your first impulse is to text her. Obviously, the reason you want to text her so fast is because you don't want her to forget about you. This is the core of your problematic mindset. You think that in order for a girl to like you need to be around her all the time, you need to talk to her all the time, otherwise she'll magically forget you. It could not be further from the truth. When I say be patient, this is what I mean. You have a 4-hour date, things go well, and now you let things cool off for a while. The ideal scenario is that she texts you telling you that she had a good time. Most of the time though, a girl won't do this, especially if she's very attractive. At this point, you wait 3 to 5 days to see if she'll text you first. If she hasn't texted you, it's totally acceptable to text her for the next date. Ideally, you'll plan ahead of time and not for that day or even the next day. The reason I say 3 to 5 days is because there's no exact science to this. The principle of this is simple. Give her some time to think about you. Girls base their attraction on their feelings exclusively. If a few days go by and she thinks about what you're doing, this is a very positive sign. When her emotions build up to the point that she feels the need to text you, this is how you know that she likes you. Even if she has the discipline to not text you, you sending that message 3 to 5 days later will give her a feeling of relief. These feelings are extremely vital to early attraction. This is why I'm telling you to be extremely patient. This perfectly flows into my second point, which is to not have casual interactions with her outside of dates. This could include friend group meetups, going to her place of work, or casual texting. You really want to make sure, guys, that she can't see you for a certain period of time after the date. A lot of you guys mess this up in a scenario with friend groups involved. There's a mutual hangout and all of you guys are supposed to be there. You can still go to these events and play it off chill, but if you want the best odds, I would say to simply avoid her. The function behind this is quite simple. Naturally, she's going to think about what you're doing. She's not going to assume you're doing it on purpose. For that reason, she might consider, is he potentially with another girl? From a surface level perspective, this is going to seem manipulative. As you always know, I'm here to tell you the truth, and the truth is this. The emotional roller coaster of feelings that girls get from these types of situations makes them feel more attracted to you in the long term. In my opinion, missing one friend group event is worth it if it means you're going to have long-term attraction from that girl. Also understand, guys, that the early phases are extremely finicky. When you're first dating a girl, even a small mistake can lead her to not liking you anymore. I'm sure you guys have seen that dreaded list of icks. When you're careful about your exposure early on, you can reduce the chances of giving her the ick. Understand, guys, a lot of these icks don't make any sense at all. Girls will look for an excuse to try to disqualify you. So if you control how much you see them, the chances of this happening are quite low. When a girl's excited or looking forward to seeing you, the chances that she'll look for some icks is much lower as well. The same logic applies to casual texting. You guys have heard me talk about this many times. Stop texting her casually. Later on, it's totally okay to casually text a girl here and there. Early on though, it's very vital that you don't overexpose yourself to her. If you casually text her too much, a message can be misinterpreted, and now she doesn't like you even though it was totally a misunderstanding. The nature of female attraction is so finicky though that even though it wasn't real, it's all about the feelings. The fact that she got a negative feeling, even if it wasn't real or if it was a misunderstanding, is already a problem. I don't make the rules, guys. Girls are very finicky when it comes to attraction. Understand it and play it correctly. To add more to the finicky nature of women, let's get into the third point, which is to not be too excited when you see her. Guys, listen, it's totally normal to be excited to see a girl that you find attractive. I don't blame you. But from a perception perspective, understand that when you seem too excited to see her, it'll come off badly. It gets into the concept I've talked about before, the concept of abundance. If it's obvious to her that you're extremely excited to see her, she may think about that a little bit. The most important aspect of female attraction is her feeling submissive towards you. It's difficult for her to feel submissive when she knows that you're super excited to see her. As a result of you showing this, she's more likely to test you and more likely to push boundaries that she otherwise would not have pushed. When you make girls feel extremely comfortable around you, they're going to push boundaries. Now you're going to put yourself in a difficult scenario where you have to navigate this boundary pushing without seeming weak. All that this does is open the door to mistakes. Mistakes you will inevitably make. You can avoid all of this by simply being a little bit more controlled with what you show her. I'm not saying don't be excited. I'm simply saying don't make it so obvious to her that you are. Trust me guys, 2 months down the road, if you pull this off correctly, she will ask you later, hey, you seem like you didn't like me that much. Was that true back then? At this point, obviously you know what the answer has to be. No, I liked you, I just wasn't sure what I thought of you yet. At that point, she knows you're lying, but this is all part of the game. It's all for good fun. That pretty much sums up this one, guys. In the future, I will make a video that talks exclusively about how to escalate on the date. Make sure you subscribe to my page so you don't miss it. Also, like the video so other people like you can also get this information. As usual, I have a more extended version of my Patreon if you want to have more in-depth knowledge. Don't forget to drop a comment for more video ideas you want to see from me. See you next time.